Welcome to Seltzer Squad, the podcast about staying sober in the city, with your hosts, Kate Zander and Jess Valentine.
Hello, Kate.
Hi, Jess.
Hey, Kate.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Happy 420, man. What do you want to talk about today?
Let's talk about Cali Sober. It is something that you have been wanting to talk about for so long.
But I also roll my eyes.
I noticed that.
Cali Sober.
Okay. So let's explain Cali Sober.
So I know you did research and then I did a little research, but I was I'm going to let you do more research and tell me.
I didn't really do much research. I read like an article or two.
Right.
But they were mostly like one was about a girl's experience that was from Vice. I think she's the girl. I feel bad that I didn't actually write down her name, but she's the one who coined the term Cali Sober.
Got it.
She had lived in New York City and was doing LSD, drinking, coke, I think MDMA, like you name it. Mm-hmm. And then she moved to California where everyone was like more, relaxed, but also just like body conscious and, healthy. Yes. Yeah. And she decided to quit everything except for drinking. Mm-hmm. And I thought going into the article, I thought she had quit drinking and all drugs except for pot, but she actually still did like mushrooms and shit.
Oh.
So that's not what I was expecting.
Interesting.
But point is, there are a lot of people who still, smoke pot, I guess do edibles. I don't know. Mm-hmm. We can talk about that. Mm-hmm. That consider themselves sober. And then you have a lot of people who are like, you are not sober if you smoke pot. I think, I hate.
So weird.
Yeah, I hate labeling things. I feel like if you call yourself sober, then you're sober. But I also think that being clean and sober are different things, which I've mentioned before. I think when you don't do drugs, then you're clean. When you don't drink, you're sober. And I don't know how I feel about pot. I personally don't care for it just myself. I've
never have.
No. Mm-mm. But it's legal now pretty much everywhere for the most part. And I don't know if that, what?
I'm just laughing because it's like, I know. I feel like I might be on the other side of this than you because I do wish that I could buy it, like go to the store and buy pot like I can when I go to California, or that I could if I went to California.
Well, it's becoming more and more, like you can buy it online.
Mm-hmm. Really?
I see. I don't know. I thought so. I don't. So, okay. Let me rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
I have been using CBD oils.
Yes.
Like tinctures. Mm-hmm. And I don't like any THC in them. So no pot.
Right.
Just CBD. However, fast forward, I've run out. And then I had a client the other day, Marta. She's the sweetest. And she has a company called Nice Paper, which is like a rolling paper company. And she brought me a gift bag.
Cute.
Of a whole, it was like, it's so sweet. She brought it was just like so much swag. And in it was one pre-rolled CBD joint.
Cool.
And I'm like,
oh, not cool.
Well,
no,
I thought it was pretty cool. I'm like,
from a marketing perspective, I think it's cute.
Oh yeah, it was also very cute. It was like in glass and pink and like very, very marketable. But point is, I woke up today with so much back pain. Like I'm always in pain. I've mentioned this before, and I was like, I'm gonna try this joint. And I didn't smoke the whole thing, but I don't know. I like it. And then I went on, I did a little bit of research and I found this website called like Plain Jane Hemp. Mm-hmm. And they also have these pre-rolled CBD joints, but they actually look like cigarettes because they're supposed to be more discreet.
Okay.
And I ordered them and it says they were delivered and they did not get delivered because the
Someone
USPS
stole your CBD cigs?
I don't know, but the point is I wanted to have them before I came here to record this conversation.
Research.
Yeah, research.
Got it.
But I also ordered bud from them, but it's just CBD. It's like there's
I don't get it, but yes.
I don't know. I wanted to try it. It's
right.
0.03% THC, which is like nothing. So yeah, I don't know. It says it was delivered. It wasn't delivered, but I've been having a lot of that in my new apartment. A lot, like 3 packages so far have said delivered that have magically not been delivered. So who knows? Anyway, point is, I'm kind of starting to like feel that plane where it's again, I don't want to do THC, but I've never been someone that would like roll a joint or anything like that.
I know. The Cali Sober thing for me, like, I think, I don't know, I have a weird relationship with weed. Like, as when I quit drinking, I feel like I wanted to smoke weed as still wanting to be a baddie, which is something we talk about a lot. But then I kind of look at my weed use and I'm like, but that's the same reason that I wanted to be drinking, was to escape something or to relax or to unwind or to numb. And then, you know, for me, weed has never really felt super addictive. It's been more of the routine. And I think it's the same kind of routine where if I'm smoking, it's like you come home from work, you have that cigarette, whatever. It's lunchtime, you have whatever cigarette to kind of bookend that time of day. And I think for me, weed was like come home and roll a joint or smoke a bowl or whatever. And then I realized that like that habit was breaking my sobriety. And it wasn't really the weed use, because it could be anything. It could be food. It can be cigarettes.
Yeah.
For me, it was like that kind of behavior and that dependence on something.
Okay, that
to
makes
me
sense.
felt like for Kate, I was breaking my sobriety. So then I had to be like, wait a minute. I've never really been like a habitual weed seeker outer. Like if I had a friend that was buying weed, maybe sometimes I would buy it, but I've never had like my own
stash
weed person. Doing a lot of gestures right now. But when I do go to California, like I enjoy going to the dispensary, and maybe that's because it does feel dangerous. But on the other end of it, it helps me. Like it helps me with my cramps, like a CBD, THC, you know, dropper or whatever helps me with my period cramps. I don't really do it to like get lifted, but I'll use it for like a bad headache. I'll use it if I can't fall asleep. I'll use it. But then I don't know if that's a slippery slope of dependency. To me right now, I feel like 6 months ago, I felt like I was using it a little bit too much. And so
Is that when you were still vaping?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I kind of decided to stop smoking and vaping all things. So I stopped vaping weed as well. And I stuck to like edibles and mints.
Okay.
And to me, that felt more controllable because you knew exactly the amount I was taking. And I was around the holidays, I was having panic attacks. So something that helped were taking like half of a mint of like a certain CBD THC blend.
Yeah.
And it would help me like come down almost like a Xanax.
Yeah, I know that's when.
But again,
so
like that's weird.
Yeah.
Is that weird? I don't know. Does that mean I'm not sober?
I get what you're
I'm not
saying,
sure.
because it's still using it as it's self-medicating.
Yes.
So
That could be like cough syrup. Like, I don't know.
it's tricky. Yeah. See, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I only like it for pain. I think that maybe because I felt like holding a joint felt like a baddie.
I know. I'm like, but I think also weed makes me feel cool still in a time when I like, to me, alcohol doesn't feel cool anymore. But to me, like smoking pot feels even though I don't smoke it
like
anymore, like it feels like I'm doing something a little baddie-ish.
I get what you're saying. You feel like less square.
Mm-hmm.
I
Like
don't
at least
know.
I'm a pothead, but I don't even know if I would like fall into the qualifications of being a pothead. Like I maybe use THC products one time a week in very low doses.
Yeah. I think that's totally fine.
Like I'm not getting lifted at a party. I'm not going to parties, you know?
I'm also like, I wouldn't judge someone who, I feel like there's a lot of judgment around this. And I feel like if someone just smokes pot, who cares?
I know, but then it's like it's like, is it ruining your fucking life? I guess that's where you draw the line.
Exactly. Are they just smoking pot from the moment they wake up to the moment they sleep? Because then that's like,
did they lose their job because they were fucking smoking pot all the time?
Maybe that's something to talk about.
Right.
But I don't know. I just feel like the term Cali Sober pops up a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And personally, I don't give a fuck if someone like, I don't know. I don't hang out with potheads.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like there's a difference between using marijuana, and I feel like being a fucking pothead is like just, you know what I mean? I feel like there's a difference.
Right.
But just like some people can drink normally while other people are more alcoholics.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, because it's obviously a different thing. Like people fight saying it can be addictive, it can't be addictive. I think that what's more addictive is, like you said, the routine and the ritual.
And the behavior, yeah.
Yeah, I think more than the actual drug of choice. Not in anything, but I'm saying with pot, just because you're any sort of ritual. I think that's why they're a ritual, because you're addicted to doing them, you know? So I don't know. For me, I'm never going to be a Cali Sober person. It's just not what, speaks to me. But I also don't give a fuck if someone else is.
Right.
And I feel like there's a lot of online fights with that whole thing, and people are like, you're not sober if you still smoke pot. And I don't know. I think that now there's so many different levels of weed. It's like, how can you even lump them together?
Clinical also, I feel like it's the same stance that we have with like our medication, right? Like I know you have a Xanax prescription, like that could technically be abused. That could technically make you not sober. Like I take anxiety medication.
Yeah.
I kind of view, for me, marijuana and THC, CBD products are, for me, anxiety maintenance. But again, like, so was alcohol.
Yeah. But there's
alcohol
also
was ruining my life, though.
There's also like, you could do anything in excess, you know.
Right.
But there's edibles, there's tinctures, there's vapes, there's actual bud, there's lotions and balms. I woke up in pain today and I had Cameron rub this, like, it's a CBD balm all over my back. Like, there's so many things. Like, well, where do you cut it off? Like, where the people that don't like it, it's like, okay, well, then what's okay and what's not okay? Like, it's not okay if you smoke it, but you can have it. Yeah. Like, no.
Or put it in a lotion.
Exactly. Like, I'm just really curious.
I know. It's definitely a gray area. We talk about gray area a lot.
Yeah.
I think for me, smoking pot made it feel more like I was doing drugs. Taking like a weed mint makes it feel more
like you're just refreshing your mouth.
No, it makes it feel, I guess for me, it makes it feel more clinical because it's like a pill.
Yeah. Like adult, classy.
But like if I'm like taking a rip off of somebody's bowl or something, I feel like I'm in the not sober. For me,
I get that.
I'm like not sober.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm being potheadish.
Yeah, like
I went
having a bong, doing gravity bong.
Yeah, I was with someone. I was with someone a couple weekends ago and we were spending time together, and this person smokes pot. So I smoked pot with this person, and I didn't feel like I was relapsing, but it did feel like this is uncharacteristic of my normal behavior. And I was also using it to relax and maybe like escape, but it was like a weekend away situation. Sure. So I don't know. I don't know where that, I mean, I don't really care what people label me online.
Yeah, I still think that you're a sober person. Don't worry.
Yeah, I feel like I celebrated 4 years of not drinking, and for me, that's sober.
Yeah,
I'm not, and I'm not doing. To me, still my two things. Well, cigarettes,
which I wanted to ask you if you're smoking.
I have not had any coronavirus cigarettes. Not one.
Oh,
no,
very good.
I actually haven't had any cigarettes since I was with that person who I was smoking. That bad influence that I was smoking weed with a couple of weeks ago.
I can't wait to find out who this is.
I don't want to out them though. So yeah, I haven't done anything like that. I've been, just drinking Diet Cokes, playing The Sims. Looking at that poisonous vape my husband still smokes.
Oh no.
But yeah, for me, it's like Coke leads me to bad places. Alcohol leads me to bad places. Marijuana, for some reason, has always been something I've been able to take it or leave it. Like, if I'm in the routine of smoking weed, I smoke weed. If I'm not in the routine, it's not on my radar. I don't really like go thinking, I don't have a bad day and
it's
immediately
like
be like, where's my
mind.
weed? I don't think like that. So I don't know why pot is that way for me.
Because it's not addictive. I don't know.
But it's not addictive for me.
Yeah.
I guess it's not something that has been an issue.
That's good.
At least yet. I remember when on Holly and Laura's podcast, they interviewed Elena Brower. Do you remember that episode? She is like a yogi, spiritual leader.
Okay.
And they did an episode on her, and it was all about weed. And she talked about how she thought weed helped her get to like a certain place creatively, and it helped her mentally, and it helped her spiritually. And she thought that, and then she ended up quitting, and it was kind of talking about just this whole sobriety, weird gray area, gray line. And she talked about kind of coming out the other side of abstaining from using marijuana. So we'll link to that in our show notes, because it's worth a listen on kind of her take on it. Because remember, Holly used to smoke weed, at least in the beginning of her sobriety.
Sure.
And it was like something that she came home and rolled a joint every single day.
I was just thinking about her doing it.
And then quitting. So she was Cali Sober, I guess, for a while. For
Yeah.
me, I think
I don't think they called it that.
Yeah,
yet.
like I just roll my eyes because it just feels goopish.
Yeah.
Like they have to label everything
Exactly.
nowadays has to fit into some sort of stereotype, and it's annoying. Like we can all be all of these things.
Yeah. People like need things to be categorized.
Black and white.
Yeah, and it's not.
So they can judge them.
Exactly.
And, you know, yeah, I guess I'm Cali Sober because I use THC marijuana products.
I don't know.
You're now ripping CBD joints, so
I don't know. Yeah, but would I be considered like? Is it only THC? Or is it like who know? I don't know. Am I Cali Sober? Y'all, let me know in the comments. Am I Cali Sober?
Are you guys Cali Sober?
Are you Cali Sober? Yeah, I want to know because. And please, no fighting in the comments, but no
it's
judging.
Not worth it. Who cares?
But I do want to hear your opinions and thoughts and experiences with all this because this is kind of a relatively new thing. And most of us that are here are relatively newly sober. So let us know.
It's also weird because in our lifetimes, marijuana has become this like legal thing. So like they've legalized it in a lot of places. So does that, I mean, obviously for me, the most dangerous drug is alcohol, which is already a legal substance after 21 years old. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what you guys write in the comments below. But yeah, don't fight. It ain't cute.
Yeah.
Until we meet again.
Be nice to yourself. And don't forget,
hangovers suck.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to this podcast. Every review helps other listeners find us. Seltzer Squad is a ham-fisted production. Music by Dead Go West. Art by Kate Sander. For show notes and resources, check out seltzersquad.com.